Here's a fun topic, rounding. I love rounding. Whoops, black. That is not going to be a good color for you guys. Rounding. What it basically means is you'll get a question where you have 8,563 and they'll ask you to round it to the nearest hundred or to the nearest whole number. Now there's a nice little technique just to make this quite a simple process. Let's say for this question they want you to round it to the nearest hundred. So I'll put it in brackets, the nearest hundred. Now the reason why they might ask you this in real life is, say you were wanting to tell someone how many people in a crowd, but they don't care about the 63 or whether it's 64 or something. They just want to know roughly how many hundred or thousand people were there in the crowd. In this case, if it was to the nearest thousand, they might want to know, was it 5,000, was it 10,000, was it 8,000, something like that. A rough idea of what it is. Now, the reason, by the way, it's called rounding is because if you notice, this is why I think it's called rounding anyway. You notice 5, 6 and 3, they're quite spiky numbers with lots of points and all that kind of stuff. Quite hard to pick up. Whereas 0 is a lovely round number. Lovely round like a circle. So if we can turn this kind of spiky number into a round number, we'll have rounded the number. Let's see how that works. We're doing 8,563 to the nearest hundred. What you do, first of all, is you circle the digit you want. So in this case we're talking about the hundreds, so we circle the 100 digit. Remember, the first one would be the units, second one would be the tens, third one would be the hundreds, fourth one thousands, next one 10,000s, etc. We've circled the 100 digit. Now we look to the number to the right. In other words, this number here, the 6. And here's the big question you need to ask yourself. Quite an important question. Let's make this box a bit bigger. Is that number to the right, not the number in the circle, the number to the right, is it between 0 and 4, or is it between 5 and 9, inclusive of those numbers? If that number to the right is between 0 and 4, you have to do something a bit weird to the number in the circle. You keep it the same. Okay? Well, it's not that weird actually. If the number to the right is between 5 and 9, you have to do something even weirder. You have to get that number in the circle, not the one you're pointing to, the number in the circle, and it has to go up by 1. Now I realize I've made that sound pretty weird and complicated, but let's try it out so you see what I'm talking about. We have 8,563. Now we're looking at the number to the right. It's a 6. That's between 5 and 9. So the number in the circle goes up. Not the 6, the number in the circle. In other words, what we get is 8,000 still, 600 now, and all the other numbers become nice and cuddly and round. Let's try that again. If we had 739 and we were doing it to the nearest, let's say to the nearest 100 again, what do we need to do? Yep, we need to circle the 100 digit, and then we need to look at the number to the right. 3. That's between 0 and 4. In other words, the number in the circle is going to stay the same, and all the numbers to the right of the circle are going to become nice and round. We would get 700. Let's try something like, what colour should I do? Turquoise or light blue. Let's try 37.83, and we're going to do it to the nearest whole number. What digit is the whole number? It would be this one, the units. What do? We circle it. We look to the number to the right. That's between 5 and 9. So the number in the circle is going to go up. So we get 38. And the rest of the numbers are going to become round. Now 38.00 is just the same as 38. Let's do one last one before you get bored of this amazing topic of rounding. And that would be, let's say in yellow, 12,993. We're going to round that to the nearest 10,000. To the nearest 10,000. 10,000, that sounds quite hard. Let's use this trick. Okay, 10,000, so we're going to circle the 10,000 digit, which is this one. Now, I remember that guy in the video telling me something about looking at the number to the right. Okay, I'll look to the number to the right. That's a 2. Something about when it's between 0 and 4, it stays the same. The number in the circle stays the same. Okay, well, I'm going to keep that number in the circle the same. So I'm going to keep it as a 1. And oh yeah, all the rest of the numbers become nice and round. And that is 12,993 to the nearest 10,000. It's 10,000.